Astro Bot's Vicious Void DLC Galaxy is filled with tough challenges that'll make fans who think the base game is too easy very happy. Or very angry, one of the two. We've cleared through all of the stages and cursed a few times along the way, and now we're ranking how good each of these challenge stages are on a tier list. The first stage is Tick-Tock Shock. These new stages are built to be challenging and present some of the steepest challenges in the whole game. This first stage uses the Time Stopper power-up to encourage some fancy platforming. These new stages aren't a race, and you should only go as fast as you feel the need to. Some of the platforming challenges are actually quite tricky, and you should take a moment to figure out how to tackle each one. After a fair few attempts, we managed to clear this stage with a time of 47 seconds and earned the Iron Patriarch bot. We'll need to redo our list of fighting game bots, as the Iron Patriarch is obviously Tekken's Heihachi Mishima. We love the time-stopping challenges, so this stage had to go straight into the amazing tier. Astro Bot's Vicious Void Galaxy has some tough challenges, and the toughest for us was the Thrust or Bust stage. The Bulldog boost power-up is cool, but this stage had us dying repeatedly, even in sections we'd cleared a dozen times already. Still, when the main game was so often too easy, these new challenge stages are a nice change of pace. The toughest part of this stage for us were these spiky rotating tentacles that have much bigger hitboxes than they seem. If you make it through to the finish line, you'll earn a new bot. We managed to get a final clear time of 58 seconds. The new bot is the Fairy Tale Hero, who is based on Tone from the PS2 cult classic Dark Cloud. That's the kind of game we'd love to see get a proper remaster or remake on PS5. This is a truly tough stage that we don't love, but it's still great fun. That's why it's in the great tier. Cock-A-Doodle-Doom is an interesting name for a tough Astro Bot stage in the Vicious Void Galaxy. This stage follows a set beat, and that beat continues even between your deaths, so the position of spikes when you start will change each time. Here you'll be using the Chicken Rocket power-up to ascend up through the stage while beating enemies, and success will be just a matter of timing. This stage was pretty frustrating, honestly, but we eventually managed to clear it with a time of 57 seconds. The bot you get as a reward for clearing this stage is called the Rebel Photographer, and is of course Jade from the classic game Beyond Good and Evil. We're still waiting for the sequel, and we might be waiting a long time. It's really cool that the team were inspired to create a stage with a rhythm theme, but this stage isn't very fun to play. Meh tier. Hard to Bear might be the most fun challenge stage in Astro Bot's new Vicious Void Galaxy, and it's all because of the monkey symbol power-up. Instead of waiting for the stage to give you an opportunity to continue, the symbol monkey allows you to clap at the features of the stage to get them to move, meaning you can set your own pace. You'll be clapping the symbols at various accordion-like platforms to get them to move and shift when you approach, and even though the stage isn't too tough, the idea is fantastic. We managed to clear this stage with a final time of 45 seconds, but we loved getting there. The new bot you get for clearing this stage is the Rebellious Knight, who takes after Grayson from the Order 1886. This is one PS4 game that would make for an actually interesting PS5 upgrade, unlike Days Gone. This stage is fantastic and lets you set your own pace at every moment. It's amazing tier. Unfortunately, Astro Bot's Armoured Hardcore level does not actually feature any mech fights, and instead Astro will be using his Cauldron power-up to clear this stage. The Cauldron is resistant to fire and attacks, but while balled up, Astro is unable to fight back or move with any kind of grace. As a result, you need to be smart about when to move fast and when to stay still in order to clear this stage. This stage was lots of fun. Of course, there's a new bot as a reward for clearing the stage, and this one is the hero of multiple Assassin's Creed games, Ezio Auditore. This might be the most high-profile bot in the Vicious Void Galaxy. We still don't know why this stage doesn't actually feature an Armored Core bot, but it's satisfying enough. Good tier. The Vicious Void Galaxy got a second batch of new stages in Astro Bot, and the first is Twin Frog Trouble. This stage has you using the frog gloves to punch your way to victory. Keep in mind that using the frog gloves while hovering will cancel the hover. This ended our run early a few times. In this stage, you just need to stay mobile and smash through anything that gets in your way. Though if you're too hasty, you'll probably get punished, like with this leggy freak that kicked a ball at us. The finale has you swinging with the frog gloves, and it's a really fun little experiment with the limits of this power-up. When you clear through the stage, you'll earn the Radical Dreamer Bot, which represents Chrono Cross's silent protagonist, Surge. This stage isn't too tough once you learn what tricks it has, but it is very satisfying to finish. Our first run took just over 1 minute. The Frog Gloves are still one of the best power-ups in the game, and that's why this stage is great tier. In Astro Bot's Suck It Up DLC stage, you'll be using the Elephant Pump power-up to absorb and spit out liquids. This challenging stage asks you to be fast without being hasty, which is only possible once you know exactly what to expect. You'll need to make your own platforms in this stage. Just keep in mind that after absorbing liquid, you'll be able to make up to 3 platforms before refilling. You'll need to use this to gain height and cross long distances. This stage isn't too tough as long as you stay patient. Remember that your platforms will only last a little while in the air, so don't jump off if you're not confident you'll land safely. When you finally clear this stage, you'll find the Machine Hunter Bot, which is Nier Automata's iconic 2B. She is in more games than I can count at this point. We cleared this stage in 1 minute and 12 seconds, but we're sure it can be beaten much faster. The Elephant Pump power-up is reasonably satisfying to use, and this is the best example of it in the game. This stage is good tier. Handhold Havoc might be the most annoying stage in Astro Bot's Vicious Void Galaxy, and that's including the final stage. Honestly, the Monkey Climber power-up just isn't very fun to use at the best of times, and when put under time pressure, it highlights how annoying it can be. Yes, this stage makes good use of the power-up, but it doesn't feel rewarding because it's not a power-up you can really master. I hope they leave this one out of the next Astro Bot game. Luckily, the stage isn't too challenging once you know what it has in store for you, though that means you'll have to die a few times first. The bot you get for this stage is Etzo Onryo, representing the protagonist from the upcoming Ghost of Yote. This might be the first bot from a game that hasn't been released yet. We finally finished this stage in 1 minute and 26 seconds, and we won't be coming back for a second run. Why, oh why did they make us use the Monkey Climber again? Trash tier. Sorry, move on. High Inflation might be the easiest challenge stage in Astro Bot's Vicious Void Galaxy. Using Astro's Octo Balloon power-up, Astro can inflate himself and cross large gaps and hazards while propelling high into the air. I'd say it's a One Piece inspired idea if Mario didn't also do this in Super Mario Galaxy. In this stage, you simply avoid electricity while crashing Astro down onto the bounce pads and inflating from that bounce to gain height. Rinse and repeat to win. There are a bunch of unique hazards, including invisible platforms, but an observant player shouldn't struggle very much at all. Once you clear through this stage, you'll earn the Nibelheim Mercenary Bot, which is obviously Final Fantasy VII's Cloud Strife. Finally, Square Enix characters are making their Astro Bot debuts. We cleared this stage on our first try, which took 1 minute and 2 seconds. This stage is easy, but we're happy leaving the time as it is. This is a decent stage, but for a challenge level, it's too easy and over far too soon. Good tier. Once you clear through every challenge stage in Astro Bot's Vicious Void Galaxy, you'll unlock Megamix Mastery, one of the toughest stages in the whole game. This stage asks you to wield multiple power-ups consecutively, starting with the Bulldog Boost, before moving on to the Monkey Symbol, and finally the Rocket Rooster. This stage is tough, and honestly highlights some of Astro Bot's limitations. Camera angles rarely give you a good idea of how far you need to Bulldog Boost to make it to a little platform, or you might overshoot. Similarly, the Monkey Symbol power-up requiring 2 buttons to activate can be awkward if you don't press them simultaneously, feeling more like a challenge to wield the controller than play the game. At least it doesn't stop you from hovering. The anti-gravity sections are finicky too, and overall feels like a level designed for a game with a more expansive base moveset than Astro has. I'll admit, I was just happy to have finally completed this stage by the end, but the one-winged Nemesis bot, which of course represents Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth, felt like a fitting reward for such a hard stage. This stage took us 2 minutes and 27 seconds to complete, but that excludes almost 15 minutes of repeated deaths. It ends on a thank you for playing message that makes this level feel like the final DLC stage we'll see for Astro Bot. While it's nice to have a refreshingly difficult stage to take on, Megamix Mastery just highlights the problems with Astro Bot and his power-ups. Not one you'd ever want to return to, and that's why it sadly has to go in the trash tier. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to let us know, and tell us in the comments what your favourite stage in Astro Bot is.